Hi there YouTube! I'm coming to you today with another review, and today we're going to be looking at the Super Advantage for the Super Nintendo. This one here is, well, as you can see, it's a mimic of an arcade controller. This is the one that I believe was actually licensed by Nintendo, or the official Nintendo arcade controller stick that they made. How does it perform? Not too bad. The arcade controller feels a bit... It doesn't have the clicky sound that you'd get from a microcontroller one, so there's a downside for you there. For those who don't know, microcontrollers are the way to go when it came to arcade controllers. If it clicked, and the same with joysticks as well back in the olden days, if it clicked when you moved it, it was a good quality one. If it didn't, not so good quality. This one I haven't had any problems with yet. It has had a little bit of work, but... yeah, it hasn't failed so far, so that's a good thing. What else have we got here? Slow feature. For those of you who don't know, I think they're ridiculous, this feature, but there it is. Adjust the speed of it as well. So slow hits the start button, again, on, off, on, off, on, off. Good for some shoot 'em ups if you're trying to cheat, and like I said, you can adjust the speed of how quickly it turns on and how quickly it turns off. Kind of just increases your reaction time a little bit and makes the game really annoying to play. Yeah, not the greatest thing, but if you want to use that, then go for it. You know, that's your thing. What do we got here? The setup: A, B, X, Y, LR, LR top and bottom there. To me, I didn't really think that was a great option either. I don't really like that sort of setup. I would have preferred them either at the bottom or up top. But hey, you know, it's whatever works for you, and if that's your way of doing things, then yeah, go for it. Turbo buttons up here as well. The standard turbo off, turbo on when you're hitting the button, and turbo constantly on whether you're hitting the button or not. And a speed adjustment for that as well for each of the A, B, X, Y, and L and R buttons up top, so you can make the turbo as fast or as slow as you would like. Little instructions here on the R button as to how it does work. So off, turbo, and auto. It's actually a fairly solid unit. It feels like a fairly high quality build, except for possibly the micro switches inside, which it doesn't have. But if you like a smoother joystick, this one actually does feel really smooth. The cord length is 1.7 meters long. Fair bit of distance there for a cord. It's not one of these short ones that makes you sit on top of the telly. I've also noticed that this comes in a US model as well, where the colour of these two pads here are purple. Up to you which one you want, but being from a PAL country, Australia, I'll stick with this one. There you go. It probably works really well with your fighting games, which I think is what it was aimed at, especially with the turbo buttons, but I mean, you can use it for any game you want. There you go. So the Super Advantage by ASCIIware for the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom. We'll see you next time.